Periscopers, just giving you a little bit of my 7 a.m. morning view before I flip the camera. Hi guys, welcome. Hi everyone coming on the line. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute for everyone to jump on. If you're happy this morning, send some hearts. So this morning I wanted to share my story. Oh, hi everyone. I love the hearts. I love that you're happy this morning. So what some of you might know, and I haven't really shared this story too much on my website yet, is that I was actually in a relationship with a narcissist, and I'll just say a narcissist. And if any of you can relate, tap some hearts. Yeah, I see some of you have been in a relationship with a narcissist. So if you have, know that it's okay and there's a way out, and I'm going to share that way out today. Thanks for the hearts, loves. So so basically, if anyone doesn't know what a narcissist is, it's kind of a person who they've got challenges on the inside, like everyone. They've got their own fear, and the way that they deal with that fear is to try and control the other person in relationship. A narcissist is someone who never admits that they are wrong, and if anything happens in a relationship, it's always because the other person is wrong. And the tricky thing about being with someone who's a narcissist is that it can be really confusing, because a lot of narcissists, they seem like amazing people. They're charming. People love them. And yeah, I see some hearts, so some of you are probably like, yes, I've been through this. They're charming. People love them. You fall in love with them, and then little things start to happen, and it's confusing. Like a narcissist will give you a lot of love, and then there'll be a undercover comment that makes you doubt yourself. And this is actually what happened to me, and I was a love coach while this was happening. And so this is really vulnerable for me to share, guys. And it's part of why I haven't shared it. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's part of why I haven't shared it yet, because I experienced a lot of shame, because I realized it's not completely like bipolar. Google, if you want to know what a narcissist is, Google what a narcissist is. They will probably, Google can explain it better and more articulately than I can. But people are saying they're a psycho. This is what I truly believe this, guys. And I believe that anybody who hurts you really is in a lot of fear. So this is not a periscope to say narcissists are bad. This is just a periscope to say how I got out of it. And why I wanted to make this periscope this morning was because, I'm sitting here on my beautiful porch in San Diego. Oh, thanks for the hearts. And I have this amazing man, a man who truly adores me. He treats me like a goddess, and he just accepts me for me. He is the exact opposite of what I had, the exact opposite. And I was sitting here thinking, wow, like, if it was possible for me to overcome this, I know a lot of women who they date narcissists, and they can be destroyed for years and years and years. And I don't want that to happen to anyone, and anyone who's watching. So I thought, I'm going to make this and share some of my journey. Hi, Michelle. So you don't have to go through what I did. So anyway, when I started my love coaching business, I was with someone who I considered to be my soulmate. And I really do truly believe he still is a soulmate, because he helped me grow my soul. And the relationship started off amazing. In fact, so amazing that I literally wanted every single woman to have what I had. It was a beautiful relationship. I felt loved at a whole new level than I ever had before. Things were going great. And in retrospect, I can see that I was somewhat ignoring some of the signs. And honestly, guys, it's hard to be a love coach and go through your own relationship journey. And sometimes you feel like you have to be perfect. And I certainly had that going on. I felt like I had to be perfect, and I felt a lot of shame around some of the things that were going on in my relationship, and I felt like I couldn't share it because as a love coach, I thought, I have to have this all together, and I have to have it all solved, and if I let anyone know some of the stuff that's happening in my relationship, they're going to think that I can't help them, even though at the time I was helping lots of women get into happy, healthy relationship. So I felt a lot of pressure to stay. And I also felt confused because, what happened when I met my ex was, we kissed and literally we were both shaking with the energy. There was something there. It felt like we had met in a past life. We both were like, wow, this is incredible. Oh, thanks for the hearts. We would have these beautiful moments. I remember one moment we were standing on a bridge and literally time stood still and we were on the bridge and cars were passing by and we couldn't even hear the cars because we were just so present with each other. People would walk up to us in the street and they would say, wow, you're so in love. And so all of that was happening at the time. And I felt like, oh, wow, this is the person that I really want to be with. But what I didn't understand at the time was that he unfortunately had some really deep-seated fears and emotional issues that would actually ultimately prevent him from fully being available to me in relationship. So things started to happen, things like, and tap if you have ever gone through anything like this. I started to suspect that he was cheating on me, which was really kind of weird because, I'm seeing some hearts because I never had a fear of people cheating on me. That wasn't one of my fears. I'm a really trusting person. And, this is the thing with women who tend to fall for narcissists. I see you guys are like, yes, this happened to me. You're most likely a really loving, open, beautiful, trusting person who just wants to love and be loved. And that was me. So I came into the relationship already with a high level of trust for this person. Yeah, Michelle, you can relate. Yes. OB living. Yeah, I trusted because I wanted to. And I started to suspect that he was cheating on me, and I'm really connected to my intuition, but I started to doubt it in this relationship. And then things would happen, like one time I asked him about it. Ladies, this is if any of you have gone through anything like this part of the story, please tap some hearts and let me know I'm not alone. So one time it even was so bad that I found condoms in his drawer, and he told me that his friend had just told him about a new masturbation technique where you put 2 condoms on and you masturbate. And he was like, you're crazy for thinking that I am cheating on you. I'm just using these to masturbate. And my body knew that was not the right thing. But at that time, I felt like, well, but there's this intense love connection, and I'm seeing all the hearts, so I know you guys are relating, but there is this intense connection, and I was so confused because I felt like when I saw this person, I really saw his spirit, and I saw the good in there, but then this behavior on the outside was happening, and then he was telling me, you're wrong. And that's what happens a lot in relationships with the narcissist. Even though they're doing something that might be quote unquote wrong, they make you wrong. So not only was he was cheating on me, spoiler alert, but he told me that I was crazy for suspecting him. And you know what? Some part of me believed him. It's like if somebody tells you you're crazy enough times, it kind of starts to sink in. And so little things like that would happen. But it was really confusing. And I didn't know what to do. And I felt so attached to this love and to the spirit of this person. And, I thought maybe if I just was loving enough, things would change. And they didn't. And it kind of progressively started to get worse. And what happened was, as I started growing in myself, growing in my career, the underhanded criticism got worse. Little things like, I remember, I'm a very clumsy person, guys. I'm one of the clumsiest people you'll ever meet. Me and bottle caps, we don't get along. I kind of never ever really screw a bottle cap on right. And so then, what happens? I'll end up knocking over, water bottles. And my ex would get mad at me for that. And he would kind of lecture me, and he would tell you, hey, Raina, he would tell me, the reason that I'm telling you that you need to screw bottle caps on is because I'm trying to teach you a lesson about life. So it was kind of cloaked in this, I'm trying to help you, but it was, when I look back, it was abusive. It was making me so wrong. And that I'm always going to be a clumsy person. I'm not going to change that. If anybody knows how I can change that in a loving way, let me know. But looking back, it was such a making me wrong. And it was the nerve to think that he could, teach me a lesson about screwing on a bottle cap. And at that time, I believed it. And, it's funny because my man now, he's like, you're so adorable. And he sees that I don't screw bottle caps on. He sees that I'm clumsy. And he literally loves it. And he literally is like, there's nothing about you that I don't love. It's not that he doesn't see the quote unquote bad things, but he sees that as the beauty of who I am, rather than a flaw in who I am that he must correct. And so I did get out of that trap. I survived the relationship with a narcissist, and I attracted in a truly amazing man. And so I want to share some of what happened. So eventually, ladies, after, and men who are watching, after enough pain in this relationship, which it was so hard to leave this relationship, guys. It was so hard. Tap some hearts if you've ever, known you should leave a relationship and you didn't leave because it was just so hard, because you love the person so much. So here I was a love coach, guys. So it's like, oh my God, if my relationship is over, I've written articles about this man. What does that mean? Like, that whole thing was going on in my mind. Then it was, I believe we had past lives together, probably many past lives together. So it was this feeling of, I'm leaving my soulmate. Like, it was tremendous. But eventually I had enough pain that I had to leave. He started to try to destroy my self-esteem. One thing he said to me was, I showed your picture to my friends at work and they all said you're a 4. Like, on the scale of attractiveness, a 0 to, or 1 to 10, 4 is not that high. And up until that point, I had walked around, honestly, believing that most people who saw me thought I was, attractive. And then he said, like, I showed your picture to my friends, and they all said you're a 4, but I think you're beautiful. So it was kind of that, it was kind of trying to convince me that no one else thought I was beautiful, but he did, so I should stay with him. So things like that started happening, and I was like, this is too much. This is going to destroy me. And that's how I started to feel. I started to feel like if I stayed in this relationship, I would be destroyed. So I left, even though it was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. And here's one of the things that helped me survive this. I made a decision when I left that relationship. I said to myself, no matter what, Nicole, you do not get to close. You do not get to close your heart. And I want to thank all of the potential clients and clients that I had and anybody that I spoke with in my business before that point, because what I had seen with them is, when a woman comes to me, oh, thanks for the hearts. When a woman comes to me, usually she's closed her heart because of some kind of pain in relationship. And so I saw from my clients, what happens. I saw the end of what happens if you close your heart in love. It was a blessing that he got so mean. So it was clear I needed to leave. And that's what happens sometimes, right, ladies? It's like we have to be pushed to a breaking point to leave. What happened to me, ladies, was that he cheated on me with his ex-wife. And that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, because I knew even if he had cheated on me with someone, like a random stranger, that would have been less difficult than it was like the ex-wife. It was kind of like, all right, this person's always going to be in his life. And so it was enough pain that I was like, I can't overcome this, knowing that he cheated with the ex-wife. And if I was going to be in his life, I would always have to see her, be around. I was like, this is too much. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. I had to be forced into pain to do it, honestly. I decided no matter what, I would not close. I would not choose to believe that because this man had done this to me, that other men would. I didn't do the thing that a lot of women do, which is I was so hurt. Now I'm going to shut myself off from dating. I'm going to be in this protection mode against men. I really, really got my mindset in the place of believing that, just because this happened to me once did not mean it would happen to me again. And I think that's really important, because I think a lot of women fear that if they've been cheated on in the past, if they've been hurt in the past, if they've been with a narcissist in the past, their energy becomes, I'm so afraid of this happening again. I'm so afraid of this happening again. I'm so afraid of this happening again. And what I told myself was, you got struck by lightning, Nicole. This is a rare occurrence. It's not going to happen again. I do not fear at all my man cheating on me now. Like, it is not a concern at all. And he's also really trustable. Like, he's super sweet and super amazing, and he's super trustable. But that really doesn't matter. It's not because of him, because I could still choose in my mind to be in fear. But I was fierce with my mindset, because I knew I couldn't afford to have my mind start spinning in the direction of fear if I wanted what I wanted, which was an amazing, epic, loving relationship. So I really held my mind on my vision of, this happened to me. It's going to make me stronger. I decided I will rise from this. And I got so much power and energy from, you know what? I'm going to have the most amazing relationship on the planet. I will not let this stop me. I'm going to rise so high from this that it's not even funny. And I truly believe that it is absolutely 100% true. Thanks for the hearts, ladies or guys, that the amount of pain that you experience, that can be transmuted into the equivalent amount of love. So I knew that all of this had happened to me for a reason. I'm a love coach. I am here to bring love to as many women and men as a result on the planet as I can. So this was my crucible. This was my moment to say, you know what? I went through something terrible in my love life, and I'm going to prove that it is 100% possible to go through that, to be so hurt, to be lied to, all of it, and to still attract amazing love. I made that my mission. And so what I did was I said, you will not close your heart. Every time I wanted to close my heart, I literally felt it opening again. Thanks for the hearts, ladies. I felt it opening again. Every time I wanted to go into the fear of this is going to happen, I reminded myself, in this moment, you are safe. In this moment, you are safe. And I had a love vision. I focused on a very specific love vision. I said, I want great love, without question, great love. And I knew that feeling, that relationship was possible for me. And I did not stop from holding on to that vision. And after that, I dated for growth. And if any of you know me, this is my dating philosophy that really works, dating for growth. And what that simply means is I used every single relationship experience. I took the growth from that experience to move forward. So I didn't date from the place of, oh my God, it didn't work out. Thanks, Raina. Sending love to you. It didn't work out. I'm so wrong. I'm so bad. I dated from the mindset of what I want is my relationship is in my future, my ideal relationship. All right, there's some things I need to shift to attract that man. There are some things I need to shift. How would those shifts come to me other than through dating experiences? And this is a mistake that I think a lot of women make. We sit back and we think, okay, somehow I'm just going to be ready for the perfect relationship and the perfect relationship is going to come. But you actually have to engage with men to actually get the lessons that you need to get. So for example, one of the things, yes, contrast, I needed to, part of the reason I think why I attracted that narcissist was because I had a lot of unhealed childhood pain and wounding inside of me that needed to come out. And I wasn't going there. And so the universe was like, all right, we're going to send you this experience to crack you open, to make you feel. And so one of the things that I attracted after that experience was, I attracted in a lover, a man who helped me really feel my emotions, and he witnessed my emotions and he felt them. And that wasn't a lasting relationship, and my mind got attached for a second and then I let it go. But that helped me absolutely get to the place where now, with me and my man, we're so emotionally open. I mean, I literally can be myself completely with him. I can be my emotional self with him. And he's open. He hears me. He wants to be with me. He wants to support me. And that's because I don't make my emotions wrong anymore. I really honor them. But before, when I was in the relationship with the narcissist, he would tell me I was crazy for feeling my emotions. He would tell me I was too emotional. And I believed it because I was telling that to myself, ladies. And so, I take responsibility for attracting that relationship. I don't feel like I'm a victim for having that relationship in my life. I know that on a lot of levels, yeah, thanks ladies, I know some of you are relating, on a lot of levels, that relationship was a reflection of the monster, so to speak, that I had inside of me. Because even though I had done all this work and all this self-love work, there was still harshness inside of me. There was still judgment inside of me. There was still a part of me that was making myself wrong, which was why I was willing to tolerate that level of treatment, because it was a match for that part of me on the inside that I had to exercise out. It had to go out, and the only way that it would go out is if I was so cracked open in pain that I would pay attention to it. So that's part of how I survived the relationship with the narcissist. I didn't make myself a victim. And that doesn't mean I didn't feel all the feelings. I fully felt all of the feelings. I cried so many times, you guys. I cried so many times. Some of my clients, while I was going through that, I was going through that breakup, I was still coaching my clients. You don't even know, ladies, if Michelle, I don't know if you were with me, Michelle, when this happened, but literally there would be some days where I would cry, I would get on a coaching call. I would cry, I would get in a coaching call. I didn't stop my business. I kept going, and I'm so thankful to my clients because they actually helped me. Serving them helped me get through it. But I walked around for months with a open, hurting heart. It felt like there was a fire in my heart, and it was literally burning. And I just walked around, and I told people, I'm healing. I'm going through some stuff. I was open. Probably for the first time in my life, I was truly open to what was going on inside. I wasn't trying to hide behind, I have it all together, which is one of the defense mechanisms. By the way, guys, I just got really long blonde hair, so give me some hearts if you like it. I wasn't trying to, thanks, Shauna, Cherie. I wasn't, yay, hearts. I'm glad you guys like the blonde hair. I love it. I wasn't trying to hide anymore between I have it all together. I walked around with a wounded heart, and I just let my heart be hurting. And I let all those emotions come out because I knew that if I held this emotion in, I would attract another relationship that was painful again. Thanks, Michelle. So I felt it. I felt it fully. I let my heart be open. And here's the thing. I stayed open to love. I really didn't close. Right after I left my ex, by the way, guys, it was really interesting because another soulmate, a guy that I had met a year prior, actually, while I was in the relationship, but I could tell. I met him in a jungle retreat, and I could tell he was a soulmate too. We had this beautiful, loving connection. He came in, and he told me that he had been in love with me for a year, and I went to go visit him on a trip, and so I didn't say, I'm so afraid that this is going to be bad that I'm not going to go. I went with the perspective of, Michelle, you do remember, yeah, I did help you. So you were with me when I was going through this. Yeah, you didn't even know, Michelle. I was crying, getting on the coaching call. But, I went to see this man, and I didn't go from the perspective of, A, this has to work out or else I'm doomed, or B, I'm so afraid. I went from the perspective of, there is something here for me to learn, to grow. This is going to help me. If he's not my man, next. And I kind of knew. I was like, universe, you're probably not going to send me, my next man a week after I break up with this man. I kind of knew, that's probably not what's going to happen. You're not going to let me get off so easy. But I went anyway. And this man, he was my friend Tracy Campoli said, he's a palate cleanser. And he was a palate cleanser because he brought in the energy of love and adoration again, which I had lost. I had that at the beginning of my relationship, but for the last year, I didn't have it so much. And so he brought that in, and he kind of restored me to it's okay for me to be treated well again, And so that didn't last either, though, because, he was across the world, and he was, in a lot of ways, love you, but he was a boy, not a man. And so every time I would have dating experiences, what I would do is if there was any kind of pain or trigger that came up, I would just feel it, and I would know that feeling it was here because it was here to heal. Thanks for the hearts. It was here to heal, so I had to let it go. And I would take the growth from every single experience that I had. I would literally ask myself, why is this happening for me? Why did I create this? How am I a genius for creating this in my life? And what happened was it kind of skyrocketed me. Yeah, you do have to feel it to heal it. It skyrocketed me to better and better and better dating experiences. So dating became really fun because I was attracting really great experiences. Even if they weren't my man, all of those men, they gave me something beautiful. And that's the thing. All of these men gave me pieces that I needed to now be where I'm at. It's like the lover helped me see that I could actually really fully let my emotions out with a man and be fully loved. This guy that I went to go take a trip with, one of my soulmates, he brought me in such a sweet, caring, loving energy, and he was very much like, protective. Like we went camping, and he was like, like making sure that I had the whole sleeping bag and wasn't cold, and even though he was in the cold, like he just brought in a beautiful energy. And every man brought me something, whether it was contrast of this is way not what I want, or like, wow, this is amazing. I really desire this. I really am adding this on to the way I want to be treated with men, or the way I want to interact with men. So every man brought me something. And yes, validating that you're on the right track. Dating upgrades, exactly. It always gets better if you get out of the victim of, oh my God, why did this happen to me? This is so wrong. Many women think that the painful experiences in their relationships or the breakups mean something wrong is happening. And yes, green hearts. They think something wrong is happening. They think it's bad. They think it means it's a sign that they're not going to get what they want. And what I tell every single one of my clients is this moment, whatever is happening right now, is the manifestation of your man happening. Meaning this moment, this is it. This is you. This is how you're going to get to your man. So I teach my clients to see every single thing that happens along the way to the man as evidence that he is coming, rather than evidence that he isn't. And you get that man way quicker. And so, obviously I had to build my self-esteem back up too, ladies. That's one of the other things that I did to survive this relationship. When he told me that basically his friends thought I was ugly, I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. It hurt. I think for a week or two, when I would look in the mirror, I was like, wait, like, am I ugly? Am I not attractive? Yeah. Oh, mad face. I know. It got to me. It triggered some childhood stuff. My family was a little bit like, they tend to pick at appearance. Who would say that, Shauna? Somebody that is really insecure in themselves. Somebody that is in a high degree of fear. And that's also another way that I got out of this, ladies. I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. I read it pretty much every day. I have been for the last 5 years. Oh, thank you for saying I'm gorgeous. I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. And so I really got that part of my healing in this was I couldn't make my ex a villain either. I had to see that he was in way more fear than I was. And I would remind myself of that. I would remind myself that however much pain he caused me, he's in way more pain on the inside. Probably more than I could even imagine. More turmoil, more pain. And I saw it in this, hurt people. And I saw it because think about somebody who was so afraid of being left that they would decide in their mind that the way to make their partner stay with them was to attack them. Because that's what was happening, right? He was attacking me to weaken me, so I would think that there was nothing else available and I would stay. And that's coming from a position of fear, right? It's not a powerful position. So I had to, as much as possible, see my ex with compassion and find the place of love on the inside. I knew I couldn't hate him. I knew I couldn't hate him because I knew doing that would keep me stuck to him forever. So I really did my forgiveness work. I really did my Course in Miracles work here to see that he was in fear. And you know what I also saw, ladies, and I think this is so important. This is one of the best things that happened to me as a result of that relationship. I developed such a strong connection with my spirit, with my inner guide. And I saw that that part had not been hurt. That part had not been touched by this relationship. And that gave me so much peace, because I realized that as much as I had been emotionally hurt in this relationship, my inner being, my inner essence, it was still there. It was unharmed. It was untouched. It was always safe. And I connected to that in the moments where I wanted to feel like a victim. I wanted to feel bad, for myself. I connected to my spirit. And now I have a connection to my spirit that is, it is beautiful. That it doesn't leave me. I live connected to this place, and it's this connection that's more important than anything else. And that's one of the things in this relationship. I had started to make being with this person more important than listening to my intuition. Being with this person was more important than me being with me. And after all this pain, I made such a strong commitment to myself. I made the commitment that I would rather lose him than lose me. I would rather lose him than lose me. And I made the commitment that I would always be with myself first. And that's how I live. And that's really part of how I attracted such an amazing guy who, he's just so supportive, so sweet. He knows that I'm a rock star businesswoman, and he doesn't try to take me away from my business. He's so happy for my success. I was on my business coach's live stream yesterday, and I just was on a panel, and he's like, I'm going to look up the video and I'm going to find you, because he's read every single one of my newsletters. He's always telling me you're such a rock star. He's not afraid of me growing away from him, because he's confident in who he is. And I attracted that kind of man because I got confident in who I am. And I really connected to my spirit in such a deep way. And that will save you, ladies. Any of you who are with a narcissist, or not even a narcissist, maybe with someone who hurt you or cheated on you, just know that there is such a loving presence inside of you. There really is so much love inside of you, and that never, ever, ever, ever leaves you. So if maybe you're watching this and you're in a relationship with, watching the replay and you're in a relationship with someone, and after watching this, you're like, that sounds a little familiar, and you're afraid to leave. I am here to tell you that there is a source of love on the inside that will never, ever, 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 ever leave you. It's always here. And it was the gift of that relationship that I had so disconnected from that place that I came back. I came back in a really real way. And now I live, the way I do relationship and what I teach my clients is the flow of connection is, it's like a pyramid. Can you see me drawing a pyramid? Maybe I should have visuals. I was watching a Chalene Johnson Periscope, and she had little doodles. So on the top is you and God. And then underneath that is you and you. Then underneath that is you and your man. And I really think for women, we have to do relationship in that order. You and God, or you and the universe, whatever resonates with you. If God doesn't resonate, then you can skip that one. You could just go to you and you. Your relationship with you has to always come first. Then it's the relationship with the man. Where women get tripped up is when we make the relationship with the man more important than the relationship with ourselves and the relationship with God. If you connect to God first and connect to you first, relationship becomes so much easier. So I just want to close off by saying, yes, so true. Thank you all for all your hearts. I really, truly hope that this is helpful for anyone that's ever been hurt in love, to see that, the story doesn't end there. It doesn't have to end there. You can absolutely 100% attract in that amazing relationship that you are really, really wanting. So don't give up, and don't let what happened to you define you, and don't let it mean that you can't have love, because I really, truly believe, ladies, the amount of fear that you experience in relationship, the amount, all right, love, talk to you later today, the amount of fear that you experience in relationship, the amount of pain you experience in relationship is really, truly an indication of how much love is available to you, because you can transmute that love. So connect here, and you'll be able to transmute all that pain into love. All right, loves, thanks so much for being here on this Periscope, for sending so many beautiful hearts, sending you lots of love. Mwah.